Hello. So I'm going to do a pick a card tarot reading today, and it's going to be asking the question, basically, what do people love about you, or why do people fall in love with you, or what makes you so lovable? Because I think that far too often we focus in on the things about ourselves that we don't like, or we don't love, or we don't believe are lovable for whatever reasons. And that can kind of become our, that's all we think of when we think about ourselves. So I want to make this little video as an offering to you all, as a reminder of the ways that you already are lovable, and you already are enough, and you already are perfect. Because so often, like I said, we just focus on the stuff that we don't like about ourselves. And also, positive affirmations and all that stuff are amazing. I do recommend, but sometimes we need to hear it from someone else. We need to hear it from a different source, like us telling ourselves, I am beautiful, all the rest of it. Maybe it just doesn't quite resonate with you and it doesn't really work. Do you know what I mean? So, this is my offering, and I just hope that it helps you remember always you are lovable, because we need to remember those things. Alright, so this is going to be group number 1, group number 2, and group 3, obviously. Do you love how I forgot which number we were up to? Counting to 3? Cool, let's do it. Alright, so we've got group number 1. Tuning into everyone who's going to be choosing this crystal for this reading. And I'm going to be working with this tarot deck. What a surprise. And also we'll definitely do a lot of oracle cards as well. Okay, so the first card that came out is Strength. So maybe you're a Leo, maybe you're an Aquarius even, I'm feeling, or you have that in your chart. But I'm just feeling like people look at you and they see confidence. They see an amount of strength within your own character. And even, this doesn't have to mean that we're like perfect all the time. We always feel really good about ourselves. Like, no, like sometimes we're of course going to have days where our confidence feels a bit wrecked. But in terms of overall, like, what people love about you is your strength. And I think you're also someone who keeps things quite contained within yourself. Like, you're not going to kind of go and, not that this is a judgment for people that do this, but like, you're not going to go and like kind of like make your problems everyone else's problems, if that makes sense. That's probably the best way that I could put it. So I think you're someone who's quite self-contained, and you're very like, you're very kind of like strong within yourself. You have strong ideas, you have strong opinions, you have a strong personality. Even if you're quiet at first, which I'm picking up on, if people get to know you and if you feel safe around people, then you are really strong, really strong in how you present yourself, in how you enjoy, just how you enjoy life in a way. Yeah. I think you're quite playful as well, and people really love that about you. They love this thing of like, oh, like we don't have to worry about kind of, all the problems in your life, like you've got that sorted, but let's just have a good time together, and that's why people would love to hang out with you, Alright, what else makes group number 1 so dang lovable? Ooh, we got the Empress and we got the Fool. Cool. So, the Empress card is telling me that you're very nurturing. You like to provide for others in quite a physical way. Like maybe you enjoy cooking for people, or you enjoy like being there for people in a really loving way. I see that you are very like, you might be an artist or a musician, I'm picking up on. I'm also picking up on that you just really enjoy music. You enjoy like, you just enjoy kind of like going to like festivals, or to like, I don't know, like just like being amongst it, like food and wine festivals or stuff like that. And I think people really like the fact that you you make the most out of life. Like, so many people, you know, on this planet Earth that we're all experiencing together, they, you know, they get really down about it. They just like don't want to be here at all. And I'm seeing that you're someone who wants to be here. And even if you go through times in your life where you don't really want to be here, I'm seeing that overall you're really grateful for what you have, and people find that really attractive. They're really attracted to that about you because it helps them get back in touch with their own gratitude and with their own sense of like life is worth living kind of thing. So that's really beautiful. And I'm also picking up on that you're actually quite physically attractive. And I think people find, you know, they like that about you, especially people you date, like, or even like, yeah, it's interesting these two together. It's like I'm picking up that like people, when they're around you, they feel more confident, they feel better about themselves. Somehow you make people feel better about themselves. You allow people to kind of like step into the limelight, and like, not that you're not there as well, but you kind of like, yeah, you provide them like a little bridge almost to be like, hey, come over here. And I think you're really like strong, like I said, strong in yourself. I think you come across as incredibly confident, whether that's true to you or not, doesn't matter. This is what people perceive you as. And they also really think, yeah, that you're quite sexy. I think you're really sexy. And we got the Fool, so I'm picking up that you're like a free spirit, or you have a very free-spirited way of like the way that you get ideas, or the way that you kind of like interact with your creative process, I'm hearing. So I think you're very creative actually, and I think you're very like free in your creativity, and you are very, what's this word it's coming in? Spontaneous. You're really spontaneous. So it's like you have an idea, or you have like an urge to go on a trip somewhere, and you're like, cool, I'm gonna do that. And people find that really attractive about you because they want that same amount of like they want that same amount of like trust. I think you have a faith in something, and even if you're not even aware of this about yourself, you just live life with this sense of faith that things are okay, that things are always going to get better, and you're always kind of like seeing the glass half full kind of thing. And people love that about you. People love being around your energy. They like, I mean, you are physically attractive, but even if you weren't, like, I feel like you'd have people flocking to your doorstep regardless, because there's something about the energy that you put out into the world that people find really, really lovable, and also you provide people with a lot of love back. Like, you're very loving back to people, so they love that. I reckon I'm going to do some goddess cards now. So, what is so lovable about group number 1? Okay, so we got 2. We got receptivity and abundance. So receptivity says, allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. And prosperity. So the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. All right, well, these are very similar in a way. Okay, so I'm seeing that you're extremely generous. Even if you don't have very much, you're really generous with whatever you have, and you just like see, like, that's a value you hold dear to your heart, and you just see like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Like, we should share what we have kind of thing. You're not really like stingy or really like cold-hearted with your resources. You're just like really warm-hearted, really generous, and you, because of your generosity and because of the way that you like handle money and you handle resources, like, it comes back to you like threefold. Like, if you're really generous with your friends, like, they really want to be generous just like that back to you. And in love as well, I think you're really, really generous with someone you're in a relationship with, and that just makes, like, they just feel so loved by you. They just, yeah, they love that. They love that about you. But you're also good at receiving. So you're not someone who's very, like, you know, sometimes people who are like givers, they have trouble like receiving. And they're always like, giving to the point where they're like burnt out. But I'm seeing that's not true for you. I'm seeing you're a generous and a giving person, but you also know kind of like when to, when to keep some for yourself kind of thing. And like, you're really generous with yourself first, and therefore kind of like generous with those you love, because you have a full cup. That's what I'm hearing. You like give to yourself so much love and nourishment, and like that you're able to just like overflow that love to other people, and they really notice that about you, because this is something that's not very common actually. People are either givers or takers in this world. Often we get polarized onto one of those points, but I'm seeing you're very much in balance with that, and you're in the flow of the abundance of the universe. You're not worried about like scarcity stuff, or if maybe you're just working really hard at dealing with scarcity stuff, because scarcity stuff is hard to unlearn, isn't it? So wow. Okay, and I'm going to do some angel cards as well to finish up for you, group number 1. So what makes you so attractive and lovable and just all of that stuff. Let's see what comes up. Okay. Have we got okay, we did. No? Okay. One almost came out and then it didn't anymore. Wow. Group number 1, this suspense is killing me. What the heck makes you so attractive? Let's find out already, Spirit. Oh my God. Listening, okay? Listening. Okay, so you're a really good listener, and you're really good at listening to yourself, and you follow your own intuition with life. And you just, I want to get a clarifier on listening. I want more cards, please, Spirit. Give me all the cards. Well, not all of them, but... Okay, this one's came out. Power. Okay, so you're very powerful. I see that you speak your truth with ease, and it comes out in quite a powerful way. You have a very strong throat chakra. You might be a musician or a singer I'm picking up on, and people find that really attractive. People like to listen to you, so maybe you just have a really nice voice, really nice tone that carries through. But you also hold space for other people to talk about themselves, which is, fairly unique. Let's be real. And you're powerful. You're so powerful, and you're grounded. Like I keep thinking of the word balance. Like I think you're very balanced, grounded, powerful, intuitive, in tune, generous, free-spirited. Wow. It's very lovable. So we'll do a little recap for you. Okay, so we got the Strength card first up, so maybe a Leo, or you just like occupy that energy and people notice that about you and love that about you, such as you're generous, you're warm-hearted, you live from your heart, you're creative, you value your relationships, you value sharing and giving a lot as well as receiving, and you're confident. You come across as really confident anyway. You're a free spirit with this Fool card. You really are spontaneous. That was the word that I couldn't think of for ages. You're very spontaneous, and you just go with your intuitive impulses to things, and like people love that. Like they want to be around that kind of energy. They want to experience the world through your eyes and through your, like the way that you experience the world, and they want to learn something from you in that. And we got the Emperor, so you're very physically sexy, definitely, and people notice that about you and love that about you, and they, I think that you're very good at nurturing and nourishing people, and you're also very grounded in the earth, and you have respect for the earth, and people appreciate that, and you're also just really in tune with like the sensual side of life, which means experiencing life through our senses. So you enjoy music and like good food and like having, like just enjoying the experience of earth. Like you're grateful for that, and people really love that, because gratitude is honestly a very beautiful quality. So to recap on these, you got power, listening, abundance, and receptivity. Oh, this says prosperity actually, but it's be abundantia or something. So yeah, that's all I have for you, group number 1. I need to drink some of my tea now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Moving on to... I've just been coughing, I'm sorry. Moving on to group number 2. What makes you so lovable? And what do people love about you? It's going to be like your little reminder. Alright, and we're going to use this Goddess Tarot deck, and we're also going to use quite a fair few of those Oracle decks. Okay. I need some more tea, I'm sorry. Alright, so this is interesting. Oh, we got 4 cards. What have we got? Ooh. We have the High Priestess. So I'm picking up that you're psychic. If you're not down with being psychic yet, then you just have these untapped gifts that you could tap into more if you wanted to, if that was part of your life plan at all, or part of something you'd be interested in doing. But it's something people notice about you regardless. Because there's something about a psychic. Okay, so you're someone that people opens up to. Maybe like at times when you actually wish people just wouldn't open up to you. They do. They open up to you because they feel into your energy, and they know, like they're not doing this consciously, but like the energy that you radiate is something that is very like trusting and very like, you're very like in tune with your emotions, but also like able to handle your emotions. Because we also have this 10 of Swords, so it's interesting, you know, what makes you so lovable spread, and what do people love about you, because the 10 of Swords is very associated with grief, loss, pain, heartbreak, things falling apart, things ending, things being really painful, and just really shit and hard. So I'm seeing that you have had a challenging life. You've had more than a few challenges in your life, but you're someone who has always risen above that. You're someone who has always been able to, like, to see a lesson in something and to grow from it, even in the most, like, really just challenging circumstances. I'm seeing, like, you still maintained this strength, this inner strength and courage to keep going, and you've never given up, and you just, like, because of all that you've been through, you just have this energy about you that is very wise, knowing, knowledgeable, able to cut through stuff that's an illusion and just see what is really true here. And you really help people with that. I think people come to you often when they have something going on, or if they're just like a little bit feeling kind of emotional, they come to you and they talk about it with you because you've been through so much. Even if you don't even tell them the stuff that you've been through, they just send, like, your energy field tells the whole world. Do you know what I mean? Because you have this certain composure within yourself, this certain way that you carry yourself, where it's like you've seen some shit, but you understand, you know, that life, like, you haven't just led a surface level life, basically. You've gone to the deepest places that life could really take you, because you've had to, but you've risen really strong from that. And you have psychic gifts, by the way. I'm going to keep saying that to you, because until we know, we don't know. And actually, it's way better to know, and therefore, even if we don't want to, even if we're not ready to open them up, like, even just having a little bit more control over that clairvoyance or that clairaudience, to, like, consciously shut that down, to consciously shut our third eye, because otherwise things get through and they can impact our moods that we don't really like. Because I'm picking up you're very sensitive, even though you've been through a lot, so you've had to kind of be quite tough and strong. Like, on the inside, you're very, very sensitive and intuitive, and again, in tune with the way, like, with the energy of the actual earth as well, I'm seeing. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. We have the Queen of Wands. So I'm picking up you're creative. I'm picking up that you are quite nurturing in a fiery kind of way. So maybe like you tell someone the truth when you just know that they need to hear the truth, and you're not going to kind of coddle anybody. Like you're just going to say what's true to you. You may be a Sagittarius, I'm picking up. Or maybe even a Cancer, because this one is associated with the moon. So we might have a Sagittarius moon, something like that. Yeah, so this is really an interesting energy, because even though it's a queen energy, like I'm picking up that you're actually quite a leader. Definitely picking up that you're a leader and that you are able to lead in quite a feminine way. Even if you're a man, or even if you don't count yourself as being a feminine woman, I'm just seeing that you have this like deeper femininity that is incredibly wise, incredibly strong, incredibly able to understand that emotions are here for a reason, and we ought to listen to them if we want to kind of get anywhere in life. And also have the Knight of Pentacles. So you're really hardworking as well. People love this about you. I think maybe sometimes you do too much work, as in like if you're in a group setting and then like you're all trying to get a project done, like maybe you do like 95% of the project and everyone else is kind of like not getting their shit together in time. So I'm seeing that you're really hardworking, but maybe sometimes you resent that because you're like, why do I have to do all the work all the time? But people love this about you, and you're someone who comes across as like really having your shit together. Like you really just like, you're like, look, I can look after myself, I can do myself, but you know, if you're in my life, then that's just added bonus kind of thing. Like, and you're a gift to people whose lives that you do enter or you do touch. Yeah. And I see that you're like, yeah, in creative, possibly at times, incredibly passionate about certain beliefs or ideas that you have, or certain causes that you latch onto. And like I said, very feminine, but you know, it might even be ways that you're not aware of, or you might be totally okay with being feminine, but I'm just like really feeling your femininity, and it's so much the source of actually your strength and your courage and your wisdom. Yeah. And I'm seeing that you also, like, you're someone who needs to move around to feel stimulated. Like, even if that's just moving around on things that you study or things you get interested in, like, you go really deep for a while and then you, like, move on to something new because you need constant stimulation and inspiration. And I think, yeah, people sometimes, they can't catch up with you. They can't keep up with you, sorry. And I think they kind of actually love that about you, which is pretty cool. What are we doing? Let's do some goddess cards about what makes you so lovable, group 2. Okay, so we got unconditional love, Mary Magdalene. We got love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Okay, so this ties in with this card for me, and I'm just, yeah, it's all coming together. I'm really seeing that you are somebody who can provide unconditional love because you've had to provide yourself unconditional love, because maybe there was not a lot of love in your childhood or something. I'm just picking up on, like, you've had a lot of challenges in life, so you've had to kind of like learn in a way how to be that source of love for yourself and how to really like rely on your own intuition, which is your own guidance system, you know. Okay, so what else? Okay, so we've got easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So maybe you're really patient, you're good at understanding when's the right time to move, because I see you like moving around a bit, so and you need stimulation. So I'm seeing like maybe you get a little bit ahead of yourself sometimes, but overall you're very intuitive in the way that you move and the way you live, and that's very, very noticeable and lovable about you. We also have sensitivity. Woo-hoo. It's kind of what I was saying about this stuff. So you're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. There you go. I think you already are sensitive. I think you've been sensitive your whole life. But I think, again, it's about turning that narrative around to make your psychic gifts and your sensitivity, because sensitivity is basically a psychic gift. Like, it's all wrapped up in the same place. So if you can turn that into something that you love about yourself, because other people already love that about you, then I think, you know, you're going to go forwards in leaps and bounds, honestly. Angels, what have the angels got to say about you? What makes, oh, okay, there we go. We got intention. So I'm seeing you're quite intentional about the way you live. And maybe that's like, you know, intentional but intuitively so. Intentional but intuitively so. So I think people like this about you, or they seem to love this about you. They love how intentional you are. Maybe you're quite organised and practical at times as well. And you, yeah, again, you're very hardworking. So I think, yeah, people see that, like, where you put your energy, where you put your time, it's with your intentions. You're not just like slopping it around all over the place. You're like, no, this is my direction. This is where I'm going. And we also have new beginnings. So I think this is tying in with this card. It's around, like, I think you're really good at knowing when something's done, when something's over, and just to move on. I don't think you, like, hold on until the bitter end like some people. I think you're really good at just finding new stimulation, new inspiration, and just moving on. And I think people really love that about you, but I think they're also a little bit intimidated by this about you because you're able to kind of just, like, pick up and move on at any point. You're just very, like, in tune with that stuff for yourself. So, yeah. That was your reading group 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you remembered a little bit about what makes you so lovable. Okay, group number 3. This is your reading, so we're going to use this Goddess Tarot and the Oracle decks, and we're going to find out a little bit about what makes you so lovable and what do people love about you. Alright. Tuning into everyone who will be watching group number 3. What makes them so lovable, Spirit? What have you got for me? Alright, so we got the Emperor. So I'm seeing that you're quite authoritative. You're a source of authority for people. You offer people comfort because you just, like, you say things how they are and you have very strong beliefs, but people find comfort in that because there's so much in the world where people are like back and forth, flip-flop, on the fence, this and that, and you'll kind of just cut through that and you're just like, no, this is what's true. And even if that's just true for you, people still love that because it just, like, calms them down. Like, I'm seeing that even though you're very, like, you're a real leader, but you have this ability to really, like, soothe people through your sense of clarity about things. You're very clear and you're able to articulate yourself very clearly. You're very articulate and you're very much, you know, you're really good at self-discipline, and again, people find that comforting because you put up boundaries with people when necessary, and so people feel safe around you. Yeah, they feel really safe around you. I think you're actually a bit of a protector, actually, of people that you love, and people, or even if you're not aware of this, people feel really protected when they're in your presence, and they really love that about you. I'm also picking up that you're a leader, and you're a leader in a way that, I'm picking up that you're a little bit more of a quiet leader. Like, you're not super outspoken or dominating or domineering. Like, you're a true leader in the sense that you allow other people to take up space, you allow other people to talk about their problems, and you help them to see what's true and what's just a story they've kind of made up for themselves. People really love that about you. Yeah, and they just feel really protected around you and really just, like, drawn to your energy because you have this aura of, like, protection, like, of yourself, but of other people as well. Okay, let's see what else is coming out. Okay, so we got the 6 of Wands. Cool. So the 6 of Wands is basically talking about public recognition and victory. So I'm seeing that you're really hardworking, and maybe you're someone who's, like, a little bit in the spotlight or in the limelight with life or with things. I'm not sure, but I'm seeing that people see you as very victorious. Maybe like when you set your mind on something, you just go for it and you get it. I'm picking up a little bit of a masculine energy here, or like divine masculine, and that can be male or female. I'm just seeing that people notice your masculinity, and again, they feel safe around it. They feel protected by it. They feel like, you know, it's that divine masculine that doesn't have heaps of insecurities. Like, you're strong in who you are, and you're able to get recognition for that, and you're able to feel victorious over whatever it is that you set your mind to. You will do it, and you will win. You're a winner. People love that about you. Like, I think you're like someone that if you're on their team, they're like, yes. Do you know what I mean? That kind of energy. Okay, so what else have we got? We got a couple cards popping out, and I'm gonna see if anything else wants to come out, and that will be the final tarot for us. Okay, we've got the 9 of Cups. All right, so we've got the 9 of Cups, which is about basically a wish come true. So maybe you're really good at fulfilling people's wishes, and maybe you're really good at like following through on promises. If someone asks you for help, you're like, yep, done, got you, kind of thing, which I think people find really, they find that really, like, again, safe. They feel protected by you because you're gonna fulfill their dreams and wishes. Like, even sexually, I'm picking up on you're really good at that side of things. Like, you understand, you know, how to fill someone's cup till it's overflowing, if you get my drift. Okay, so we've got the 6 of Cups, and we've got the Moon card. So you might be a water sign, might be a Cancer, Capricorn, or a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. You might be a Capricorn, you might be an Aries, or you might be a fire sign. So you could be anything at that point, hey. Kind of pointless even saying that, but with this Moon card, it's very interesting because I was just saying how I thought you were quite masculine, but actually perhaps you're actually quite balanced within your masculinity and your femininity. And you're very much able to kind of see through the illusions that life presents us, and you don't get fooled and like sucked into stuff that other people would. So I think people come to you, and whether they ask for this or not, you're able to break illusions for them. If they're talking about someone they're having issues with at work or something going on in their other personal life, you'll hear them out, and then you'll offer your advice, and you'll just cut through stuff, and it will break things open for them. They'll see things in a new way, and they'll be like, oh my god, I was living under this crazy illusion this whole time, or I was putting so-and-so up on this massive pedestal for no reason. So I think, yeah, people really enjoy your perspective on things. I think you're also quite creative in whatever capacity, you know, that resonates with you at. But I think that's something people love about you. Even if you're just creative in the way you speak, in the way you use your words, something like that, I'm just seeing people really love that. The 6 of Cups is, it's basically about our inner child. So I'm seeing that even though you come across first up like this emperor, like this very masculine warrior, you're here to protect, you're here to provide. I think that deep down you're actually like a little bit of a child. You've got a childlike spirit, you enjoy like being carefree, you enjoy kind of, once the work is done, you enjoy just letting go of everything. Just maybe you enjoy partying or dancing or just enjoying yourself in some way, but after the job is done. So you're very balanced in that way. And it's interesting because I'm even seeing that you have this feminine, almost like the moon to me is almost like our sky mother. And then you have the emperor, which is like this warrior, this protector, this almost father figure. It is related to a father figure in the tarot. So, maybe you come across like a little bit paternal or something sometimes. And at the same time, you have this inner child in you that is very expressive, that is very free-willed, and free-spirited, and maybe free-willed. All of our inner childs are free-willed, aren't they? And this is the source of your creativity and the source of your passion in life. I think you really have a great understanding about what children have to offer us in terms of their perspective on the world, and you're not closed down in that way at all. And yeah, you just have this really nice balance that, again, people find really safe. They find it really supportive. And with this Emperor card, I think people find this quite attractive. like, this is their first impressions of you, as how I'm reading. Like, you come across like really put together, you've got all your shit together in life, and like people are like really attracted to that and love that about you. And then it's like, as they get to know you, as a relationship builds, you start showing them this wisdom that you have inside of you, this lunar wisdom, this, you know, you're okay with the dark, you know, and you're also really in touch with the wisdom of the child, the wisdom of our inner child, and all of that she has to offer. And I think you maybe have done a little bit of work on your childhood, or you've been forced to do some healing in some way, or you've just done it from your own fruition, like you have just like reflected on things and come to certain agreements or beliefs within yourself around stuff that has happened to you, and that it's really like, it's really a source of this strength that you portray outward, is that you have taken the time to go back to look at your childhood a bit, or to bring that inner child self into a place of caring in yourself. That makes sense? Like, you really care for your inner child. And yeah, people, honestly, I can't say this enough, people feel safe around you, they feel protected by you, they feel like you satisfy them in a lot of ways, especially in a love relationship. And I really get this masculine presence from you. So you might be a man watching, or you might be like in a same-sex relationship or something, but I'm just feeling like you wear the pants, wherever you are, you wear the pants, and you're really good at satisfying your lovers. Like, this is something that your lovers remember about you, is how much you satisfied them. Body, mind, and spirit, you know what I mean. Okay, let's do some angel cards. What makes group 3 so lovable? Oh, that's very interesting. We got Archangel Michael. Another masculine energy. So Archangel Michael is basically very associated with us standing up for ourselves, speaking up for ourselves, and being able to cut through bullshit. I don't know if I think I was saying that about you, like, Archangel Michael, basically, it cuts people out when it's time, cuts substances or habits out when it's time, and helps us to basically follow through with that. So you might have a strong affinity to Archangel Michael. You might not know that you do, however you do. And Archangel Michael is basically available to each and every one of us if we wish to converse or seek his guidance in life. And he's very, very helpful when we're going through some kind of ending or breakup, or we really need to just let go of something because it's really not serving us anymore, like an addiction or something like that. So I'm seeing that maybe you've done a lot of that over your life, and you've had to kind of like cut stuff out, even though it was painful. You see the higher wisdom of that, and you're very strong, and you really speak your mind, and you really listen to your truth that's inside of you. And you are able to speak the truth to other people and also listen to other people at the same time. Wow. Goddess. Let's do a couple of these. So, what makes group number 3 so lovable? And what do people love about group number 3? Ooh, okay, I want to pull one more, but one came out. One more there, come on. Okay, one more. Alright, so we got Inner Goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, appreciating your divinity. And we got Endings and Beginnings. Kali, the goddess of death, which is the old must be released so that the new can enter. So again, I'm seeing the blue here, and I'm seeing the blue with Archangel Michael, so I'm seeing you have a strong throat chakra. You may express yourself through song or just the way that you speak. You might be a really good public speaker, I'm seeing. Something about the way that you talk, people find really attractive, and you might have quite a deep voice that kind of resonates through a room, and people kind of look up and they're like, who's that? Something like that I'm feeling. And yeah, you're just really good at like cutting stuff away when it's time, and you embrace the death that needs to happen. This card kind of reminds me of Scorpio as well. You embrace the death that might need to happen in order for the new to come in. And with this Inner Goddess card, I'm seeing that even though you might come across as someone who's a little bit more rigid or put together, deep down, or if someone gains your trust, or if you enter a relationship with them, then you just let this inner goddess out, like you allow, and you're very sexual, because this is the sacral chakra color, this orange, so you're very sexual, you're very able to express yourself in that sexual, sensual way, and you really allow like your art to come through you, like you're a very clear channel, I'm seeing, for like art to come through you. And people love that about you. And they love when you embrace this inner goddess side of yourself and you like express yourself in whatever way that is. Like it says, through dance, self-care, appreciating your divinity. So I'm seeing that you're someone who really appreciates yourself. You have good self-care. You have like a strong sense of love for yourself already, rather than sort of searching for that in somebody else, and never feeling satisfied. So yeah, this kind of reminds me of this card, like, I think you're really good at kind of satisfying yourself, and therefore able to kind of like satisfy people you're in love with or people that you love, because you've already done the work for yourself. So thank you so much, group number 3. I hope that reading resonated with you on some level. It was really fun to channel, and yeah, I'll see you all soon. Bye.